From the heart of Kingston, Jamaica, a voice rose that would forever change the sound of dancehall. Gritty, raw, and powerful, he was the voice of the streets, the champion for the poor, and the warrior of the dancehall arena. They called him the Warlord. They called him the poor people's governor. His name Bounty Killer. In the 1990s, when dancehall was exploding onto the global stage, one man stood at the center of it all, with lyrics that spoke of poverty, justice, and survival. He wasn't just an artist, he was a movement. This is the untold story of Rodney Basil Price, better known as Bounty Killer. From Seaview Gardens to international arenas, from the harsh realities of Kingston's Ghetto to the Grammy stage, this is the journey of a man whose voice became the weapon of a generation. Rodney Basil Price was born on June 12, 1972, in the gritty community of Riverton City, Kingston, Jamaica. Life was never easy. He grew up surrounded by poverty, violence, and the harsh realities of ghetto living. But it was in this struggle that the fire of Bounty Killer was first lit. Rodney's childhood was marked by hardship. His family later moved to Seaview Gardens, another tough Kingston community. It was here, among the concrete yards and zinc fences, that Rodney learned resilience, survival, and the power of words. Like many Jamaican youths of the time, music was more than just entertainment. It was an escape, a weapon, and a form of identity. Rodney would often gather with friends around sound systems, listening to the pioneers of reggae and dancehall. The voices of legends like Peter Tosh, Bob Marley, and later dancehall dons like Shabba Ranks became his earliest influences. But Rodney wasn't just a listener. From an early age, he started writing lyrics, sharpening his voice, and dreaming of a way out. He knew the struggle, and he wanted to speak for the people who lived it every day. In his own words, he once said, "I grew up in the ghetto, so my music must represent the ghetto. I'm not here to make fairy tales, I'm here to tell the truth." By his teenage years, Rodney was already transforming into the artist the world would come to know as Bounty Killer. But before the fame came the fire, literally. In 1986, a teenage Rodney Price's life changed forever. At just 14 years old, he found himself in the middle of Kingston's gun violence. Rodney was shot, an experience that would scar his body, but more importantly, ignite a fire in his spirit. Instead of breaking him, the shooting gave Rodney new purpose. He began calling himself Bounty Hunter, symbolizing his survival and his will to fight back against a system that had abandoned the poor. With his powerful voice and gritty lyrics, he started recording with local sound systems. His tough delivery and unapologetic style earned him respect in the streets. Soon, he renamed himself Bounty Killer, the Warlord, the lyrical soldier of dancehall. In the early 1990s, he broke onto the scene with a stream of hard-hitting tracks. Songs like Copper Shot and Spy Fee Died declared war on injustice, corruption, and rival MCs alike. Unlike many of his peers who focused on party vibes and romance, Bounty Killer brought something different: social commentary, street reality, and pure aggression. He wasn't here to sing sweet melodies. He was here to speak for the poor, the forgotten, and the fighters. It wasn't long before Jamaica realized a new general had entered the dancehall battlefield. By the early 1990s, Bounty Killer was more than just a street voice. He was a rising star ready to dominate the dancehall arena. His fierce performances and battle-ready lyrics made him one of the most feared and respected artists in the business. In dancehall, clashes were more than entertainment, they were lyrical wars, battles for respect, and Bounty Killer thrived in this environment. His rivalry with fellow artist Beenie Man became one of the most legendary feuds in reggae history. Their lyrical clashes electrified audiences across Jamaica. Fans would pack venues just to witness these two giants go head-to-head. For Bounty, it wasn't just about music, it was about proving he was the warlord of dancehall. Songs like Down in the Ghetto, Book, 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 and Poor People Fed Up cemented his status. He wasn't just clashing rivals, he was clashing the system itself. His music became an anthem for the disenfranchised, calling out corruption, poverty, and inequality. By the mid-90s, Bounty Killer wasn't just a dancehall artist. He was a cultural force, a general whose words carried the weight of Jamaica's struggles. By the late 1990s, Bounty Killer's voice had traveled far beyond Kingston. The Warlord had become an international ambassador of dancehall, bringing the raw energy of Jamaica to audiences worldwide. He began collaborating with some of the biggest names in music. In 1997, his feature on No Doubt's smash hit Hey Baby introduced him to a massive global audience and even won a Grammy Award for Best Pop Vocal Album. His collaborations didn't stop there. Bounty worked with the Fugees, Mobb Deep, Busta Rhymes, and Swizz Beatz, blending hardcore dancehall with hip-hop and proving his versatility as an artist. But while the international stage gave him new fame, Bounty never forgot his mission. He remained true to his roots, delivering powerful tracks like Poor People Fed Up, a song that became a timeless anthem for social justice. Bounty's global recognition solidified his title as one of the most important dancehall artists of all time. From Kingston's dancehall clashes to international Grammy-winning stages, Bounty Killer had truly arrived. In the 1990s and early 2000s, dancehall was defined by one of the most intense rivalries in music history. Bounty Killer versus Beenie Man. It wasn't just music, it was war. Two kings, two generals, both battling for the crown of dancehall supremacy. Their rivalry became legendary. Every stage show, every lyrical clash was electric. Fans would divide, half chanting for Bounty, half for Beenie. It fueled the dancehall scene, keeping the genre alive and exciting for years. But beyond the rivalry was respect. Both men represented different sides of the same culture. Beenie with his charisma and slick lyrics, Bounty with his raw fire and militant style. Together, they pushed each other to be better. Eventually, the two icons buried the hatchet. Their rivalry gave way to unity, and their joint performances showed fans that competition could evolve into brotherhood. From warlords to peace talks, Bounty and Beanie's story remains one of dancehall's most iconic chapters. In the end, the clash that once divided the dancehall community would go down as a symbol of its strength. Bounty Killer wasn't just about the music. Beyond the stage, he carried the title of the poor people's governor. His lyrics gave a voice to the voiceless, and his actions proved he was more than just a performer. Over the years, Bounty has been heavily involved in philanthropy. He founded the Bounty Killer Foundation, which has supported hospitals, schools, and underprivileged families across Jamaica. For him, giving back wasn't charity, it was duty. His influence on dancehall and reggae is undeniable. Known as a mentor, Bounty helped guide and inspire a new generation of artists, including Vybz Kartel, Mavado, Busy Signal, and Adonia. Many of today's stars proudly call him a father figure in dancehall. But beyond mentoring, his music itself continues to echo. From the 90s to now, his songs are still played at dances, sound clashes, and international festivals. His voice remains a weapon of truth, rebellion, and resilience. In many ways, Bounty Killer is not just an artist, he's a cultural institution. His legacy is written in the streets, in the voices of those he inspired, and in the countless lives he touched. From the tough streets of Kingston to the world stage, Bounty Killer's journey is more than music, it's the story of survival, struggle, and strength. A boy who faced violence, poverty, and hardship grew into the warlord of dancehall, a voice that refused to be silenced. He gave the ghetto a general, the poor a governor, and the world a messenger. Through fire and controversy, rivalry and triumph, Bounty Killer remained unshaken, true to his mission, true to his people. Today, his legacy continues to shape dancehall. Artists carry his influence, fans still chant his anthems, and his presence remains as fierce as ever. He is not just a dancehall icon, he is a warrior, a teacher, and a legend. This is the story of Bounty Killer, the poor people's governor, the dancehall warlord, and one of the greatest to ever hold the mic.